Well, hello and welcome everybody to another fun show from BEARSKIFILM. Listen, I I got a lot to say. I'm gonna get the very little good, I guess, out first because there's always both sides. I thought Caleb starting 7 for 7 was a positive, although his first incompletion came on a third down. Still, 7 for 7 is better than what we saw in week one. Those jitters I thought kind of went away. Passes were a little bit more on target.
Just to speak to that, even if he has a shaky game right now, he's probably still the best quarterback I've seen in 25 years.
Of course, and I mean that's why I said I'm going over good things. The Bears put themselves in a position at the end of the game where you're down 6 points and you have a minute and a half. If that's Aaron Rodgers, that's an opportunity to win the game. If that's Patrick Mahomes, it's an opportunity to win the game. If that's any of these top tier quarterbacks. A minute and a half and you're down six. You need a touchdown drive. You can go win that game. You don't usually put a quarterback in that position in his second game in the NFL. However, we did wind up in that position. Caleb did not come through. And so it's like, that's going to be one of those things, in my opinion, that he's going to have to check off the list at some point. The sooner the better. I don't expect him to do it. However, at least the team put him in position to win. Now, we kept saying it. This is not about the statistical record this year for us. It's not. At no point did I really expect to win this game last night. I didn't. So I'm not upset by any means that we came away with a loss. What I am upset about is that you got your rookie quarterback sacked 7 times. What I am upset about is that you're running Nate Davis out there still. Oh, here's the other positive. You didn't let Velus Jones Jr. touch the ball. Okay, so maybe you learned a little bit of something, right? Just a little bit of something. But my goodness.
Even with that, though, don't you feel like they probably wanted to give Velus Jones the ball a little bit?
He
Like,
might
they
save
wanted
us,
to
guys.
just a little bit.
He might just save us if he takes this kick return. He takes it back house. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude. So here's the thing. To all the people out there, and we've been very respectful, very mild. We've been the guys to sit here and tell you, hey, we're just two guys with an opinion. We're not pretending we're trying to be smarter than everybody else. We're not pretending we're trying to be smarter than the guys at Hell's Hall. But man, with just two guys with an opinion, it seems so obvious to us where it can't. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. I opened up a show a couple weeks ago. First line was "fuck Nate Davis." What do you think was going to happen? You think like I said, if he plays at a Pro Bowl level this year, I'll eat my words and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt moving forward, right? But the guy didn't practice. Of course, he's going to run out there and suck. And then you have players like Tevin Jenkins saying, well, at the end of the day, the calls come in and we execute them, and some stuff's just beyond us.
To build on that real quick, he's the third player in the last day to say the exact same thing.
Okay.
If you haven't seen that, it's, well, we're running the plays that are called for us. Maybe this is, I feel like they're almost carrying over their frustrations with Luke Getsy into this new scheme. But there was a lot more leash on Luke Getsy from the players even. This is the benefit of having a young team, and you can rah-rah it a little bit. But this is their second offensive coach, their second defensive coordinator. This is what should have been their second head coach. These are guys that are going from young 22-year-olds, and the majority of your team is 22 and 23-year-olds, to now it's, Jalen Johnson is a Pro Bowler and this and that. You're talking to grown men who are accountable and get called out, and the last thing you want to do is piss them off with no accountability on yourself. And this goes back to Justin Fields. The guy accidentally slipped up and made his head and his offensive coordinator accountable, and he had to retract that statement. So
Thai, it just takes you back to Justin Fields' first start where he got sacked 9 times. This is Caleb Williams' second start. He's getting sacked 7 times. I mean, 2 really bad challenges. Not according to Eberflus. According to Eberflus, I don't know if you guys heard this. I mean, I put together a video on these press conferences. I'll come out with the Eberflus one after the show, and I'll let you guys hear it for yourself. He said, since I've gotten here, we've been really good at that. You're 2 for 7. You're 0-2 last night.
How do you clean that up to make sure that those challenges go in the right direction for you?
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty clean overall, since we've been here.
No, you're not really good at challenges, and those are 2 obvious challenges. Now, the second one, I understand a little bit more due to the fact that the situation could have turned that game around, but at the same time, it's your second challenge then. You can't sit there and just waste it on something that's obvious just because it's a situation. Like, no, if you had 2 in your pocket and you wanted to throw one on the Kyler Gordon thing, fine, I get it. But you can't make that your last one. Gone on different shows, and I've heard all these different predictions, 11 wins, 12 wins. No, it's just, I bit my lip this time. Last year I was saying, no, you guys are crazy. Because last year some people were even predicting them at 11 wins, and it wasn't happening. This year, I guess, maybe, but a 12-win team's a powerhouse. Like a powerhouse. David, we both had them at 9-8. At best, 10-7. But 9-8, I'm now looking at the product on the field, struggling to feel comfortable about predicting 9 wins. We're not going to be the guys that are homers. Look, guys, look at our next 3 opponents. We could easily be 4-1. Are you kidding me? You are penciling in victories with this team now? When's the last time Eberflus won 3 games in a row? We're going to be 4-1 all of a sudden? Guys, get real. This is not a good football team. It's not a well-coached football team by any means. We got a number 1 overall draft pick, and I said it with Justin Fields. I'm going to say it with Caleb Williams. This looks like the way to destroy a quarterback, not the way to develop a quarterback. And, I went on different shows, and people were predicting, 4,000, 5,000 yards was even thrown out there once at me. I was just like, you got to be kidding. Well, why? He's generational. Well, if he's the number 1 overall pick, then we should expect that out of him. No. There's still quarterback development that needs to take place. This kid's a 22-year-old kid. He's a rookie. He's a great prospect. He's a great talent. You can still, man, I wouldn't wish for 5 athletes like that to jump and beat the shit out of my worst enemy every week. You know what I mean? Like, you're putting this kid in there to go down. Man, I'll tell you, I said this to somebody too. If this goes south, and he's like, go south. Oh, it can't go south. No, this is going to work. This is going to work for sure. Nothing's handed to you on a damn silver platter in this league. You got to earn it all. We've mentioned how our concern was with the coaching. I'm no longer concerned. I'm fucking pissed, man. And listen, there's going to be some wins along the way. I'm going to have to retract that a little bit, just like I had to last year because we put together a good end of the season. And then I'm going to sit there and go, I'm going to start making excuses. Oh, well, of course it doesn't make sense to get rid of a guy after just 2 years. He had a hot end to the year. Does he deserve to get fired, this and that? But the whole time we're sitting there just trying to make excuses. Meanwhile, we had to replace an offensive coordinator. We had to replace a defensive coordinator. I've asked people, who's the worst coaching staff in this division? It's us. It's easily us. And to sit there and have to think about it means you're just trying to fool yourself. You're trying to fool yourself. And I wish they would have just pulled the plug all at once, gotten the new quarterback. I know people aren't high on Jim Harbaugh or people have mixed feelings. Some people are, some people aren't. Guess what? His team's rushed for 400 yards in 2 games. Guess what he would have made sure to do? He would have made sure that he had an offensive line there to protect Caleb Williams. We talked about how in the draft, clearly the holes were offensive line, defensive line, specifically center, guard. And we go after a wide receiver 3 and a punter. And I'm not hating on the punter, man. And I'm not trying to hate on Odunze. From a team building perspective, though, you have holes. You could have dropped back, gotten a defensive lineman, and gotten a center. And then you're not sitting here starting these. This is the worst part. We did it exactly. I'm sorry, David. I'm rambling. I'm going on.
No, I love it. I need to match your energy when you're done.
Dude, we did this with Lucas Patrick. We went out and got Luke Getsy, and we went out and got Lucas Patrick. Why? Because he's familiar with the system.
It's such placating bullshit.
We're not going to beat you physically. We're going to beat you with the system, man.
Because we're smarter than everybody.
That's right. And what do we do this time? We went out. Listen, I thought Coleman Shelton was going to be like the just-in-case backup. And you're starting.
And he's getting his fucking ass pounded in 2 weeks in a row.
Dude. So, I'll tell you what. Offensive line problems, not easy to fix.
Impossible to fix
change.
Mid-season.
Man,
Week 3, you don't fix those.
It's going to be such a rough season. And I think because, the fan expectation for the wins, for a playoff push or something is all there. Oh, man, get ready for this roller coaster ride, because I have a feeling we're going to be sitting there at the end of the year scratching our heads wondering, why did we not even interview Jim Harbaugh?